Here are some of the most diabolical things ever said to me. You're so pretty for a black girl. So basically you're just so shocked to see that someone could be beautiful that isn't white. Like, no thank you, that was not a compliment, that was extremely rude. I used to be kind of nerdy in school and I was really smart. Okay, I still am really smart. But our teacher said we had to get into groups to work on a project and everybody was like running up to me and was like, Raquel, Raquel. So I go, oh my God, I'm so popular. And this girl literally looks at me and she's like, it's only because you're smart. No, I'm smart and beautiful, stop being jealous. Like, you could be both too if you weren't such a bitch. And this one only happened in New York when I started hanging out with like a lot of models and promoters when I first moved here. But these guys I saw talking out the corner of my eye and they were like model scouts and they're looking at me up and down and stuff. And they finally go like, did you play sports? And I'm like, yeah, I actually did. I played a lot of sports. And like, oh yeah, you know, you just have such a pretty face. Thanks for basically telling me that I'm too fat to be a model. Kind of in the same category, but there was a girl that I went to high school with that I would hang out with a lot when I first moved here because she lived in New York. And not even kidding, one time before we went out, she's like, yeah, you can come. She's like, wait, let me see your stomach. And she lifted my shirt up and then proceeded to be like, okay, yeah, you can come. It's just that they have a high standard. Not sure if I even want to go anymore, honestly. I'm lying, I went. I was so excited. Also, just pointing out that nobody was like that. There's people of all different sizes and colors. This one I heard like way too much growing up because it came from my own community. I would hear a lot like, you need to put some heat on your hair. Basically being told that my natural curly hair was not good enough, accepted, and I needed to make sure I straighten it before I ever went outside. You know, it be your own people sometimes, a lot of the time. This one came from a friend, but I was visiting them once and they were in the process of moving out and they weren't living in like the best place. And I had been friends with him for a while. Like, we hung out in North Carolina before I had moved to New York. And he literally just straight up asked me, do you think that you're only successful because of your boyfriend? Ugh, I was really hurt by that one because we were really close friends. But no, that's not okay to say to me and make me feel a certain type of way just because you're feeling insecure. And honestly, a lot of that started happening, especially after I moved to New York. As I've gotten older and wiser, I know that it was about insecurity, and there's nothing wrong with that. I get insecure too. But just watch how you direct that energy because sometimes you can't take stuff back. And I'm a forgiving person. And I saved the worst for last. I was running in college once because for some reason I thought that was gonna be what I did. LOL. These guys are hitting on me from their car and I really just want to listen to my music and run because I was having a stressful week. And just because I'm not answering, I guess, one of the guys has the nerve to yell out from the car, go back to Africa. First of all, I'm from North Carolina. And I hate to admit that one made me cry. Because that was like blatant racism for no reason. But that's just a few. I could go on. Anyways, let me know if you want a part 2. Bye, guys.